Yeah, my name's Keith. I was a member of Black Flag, a co-founding member of Black Flag, a co-founding member of the Circle Jerks, Bug Lamp, Midget Hand Job, Flag, and Off. We're doing a 2-week tour. This is the end of the first, these are the first 4 shows. And we had to take 2 days off because our guitar player's daughter's birthday is tomorrow. And all of these guys that play in the band, they've all got sons and daughters and kids and wives and pets and, you know, all of that fun stuff. You know, when you're an adult, you got all of these responsibilities. Well, they've got all of that. And he said, I'm not playing on my daughter's birthday. And we were like, okay, that's fine. We're in Santa Barbara, Ventura. We're an hour and a half from home. It's actually been really fun. I mean, I've screamed myself hoarse, so all sorts of stuff. Beatles, Rolling Stones, everything that all of the punk rock people and the hardcore people say is uncool to listen to. We'll take that and just toss that out the window. I'm not going to have anybody tell me what I have to listen to. That's ridiculous. I grew up with AM radio. In Los Angeles, we had 2 really great stations. We had KHJ, we had KRLA. One was kind of dirty and gritty and would play the Seeds and play the Standells and play the Rolling Stones. I Can't Get No Satisfaction. And the Beatles, I'm Down. What the heck is up with that?
All right. In your definition, what is hardcore?
You know, that's just a name that somebody came up with to categorize the music. If you listen to it, we're just a loud, amplified band. We're playing rock and roll. We just have a different take on it. We've got a different spin on it. Speed it up, make it more energetic.
What made you become a frontman? Go on stage and...
Well, I was originally in Black Flag. I was going to play drums. And you heard the story today at the bookstore where I was going to purchase a drum kit, and the kit ended up having been stolen by one of my friends from one of my other friends. And if I had bought that drum kit, I would have got my ass kicked.
Okay.
No, and I can't go around because at that time I weighed 80 pounds, 85 pounds. Couldn't go around throwing my weight around.
How did you get the whole idea of writing your book? Where did it come about?
The situation that happens when you're writing a book, when you're dealing with a publisher and a book company, is a lot of times things are dictated for you, which at first I wanted to be angry and I wanted to like rail against it, and I want to choose the guy that co-writes the book with me. I'm not choosing a ghostwriter. The book company says we've got to come up with a name for the book that's kind of sensational. You know, kind of like if you were looking at the National Enquirer and you're reading all of these really messed up headlines. It's sensationalism, but it helps sell books. So consequently, the guy that I co-wrote the book with, when I say co-wrote, we sat for 70 hours doing interviews. And he took all of the interviews and took what he considered to be the best parts of the interviews to make the book. He put it in places and moved everything around and did all of the juxtaposition and made, if you read the book moves really fast. It's like listening to a Black Flag album or listening to a Circle Jerks album or listening to an Off record. You know, listening to your favorite punk rock or your favorite speed metal, it moves really quick. That's pacing, which my co-writer, Jim Ruland, was responsible for. He also came up with the name for the book. Because I didn't want to sit around going, well, what am I going to call my book? Oh, My War, or, you know, whatever. You know, and I got some flack from some diehard Black Flag fans. Like, well, he wasn't in the band when they did Damaged. It's like, no. We used that word, that term, when we were going to go out and paste up flyers, when we were going to get into a really hardcore rehearsal, when we were going to, like, go and play, we're going to go do some damage. It's not something that Henry Rollins came up with. It's not something that we came up with. It was just a word that one of the guys pulled out of the air, and this was way before Henry Rollins, so, all right, okay. All sorts of people, including my friend's kids. Speaking of going home so one of the guys can be with his daughter on her birthday. I love the kids. I'm burning out on the adults, so it's coming to the end for me when it comes to, like, people nowadays as influences. It would probably be more as to what not to do, rather than, well, this guy is so cool, it's like I want to be like him.
Okay. If you could pick anybody in the universe to make an album with, alive or deceased, who would you pick?
Oh, I'd most definitely do an album with Jimi Hendrix. That's a no-brainer. Dimitri and I, we were writing songs for a Circle Jerks album, and the guys in the Circle Jerks decided that they were too cool to continue doing what we were doing, and that they needed to have more control over what was going on, and it became this arrogant, egotistical, stupid downward spiral. Just typical older guys in bands who don't want to take orders from somebody younger than them. You know, some new fresh guy that's got some amazing ideas and has this energy, and it's not being surrounded by all of these fucking zombies. Like, we're so cool that we can record whatever we want, and our fans will just, it'll be like the donkey that's been traversing across the desert for 3 days without any water, and it comes to the watering hole, and it's just going to start lapping up with whatever is in the water hole, and it might not even be water, it could be shit, you know. And it's just like, enough of this Warped Tour. We got to make really nice music. Yeah, he's not punk. That was from one of the newer guys made that comment. Like, you know what? Screw you guys. I got stuff to do. That's the reason why we're out here.
Bong Lude's Inscription in the Matrix on the first album?
That is something that we would do. We would take pills and crush them up and then put them in a pot pipe and smoke it, thinking that, oh, we're getting some amazing high, when in all actuality all we were doing was just killing lung cells. We can't do anything because two of the guys are members of the Descendants, and we were just in Europe, and one of the guys complained that we didn't make any money. It was fun, like 12, 13 guys on a bus, just stinky and gross, and everybody getting into each other's face. And one night we had a couple of guys wanting to get into a fight, and Um, I love all those guys because what we did was we shared the bus with the Descendants, which cut our cost for the bus in half. And because we had the bus, we weren't getting hotels every night. We camped out in parking lots, and I mentioned the Underworld in Camden in London. They let us park right next to the venue. So we were there for 2 nights. Actually 3. I think we were there for 3 nights. They let us pull up and we stayed on the bus. They've got a new album. The Descendants have a new album out, and it's great for them, and they're promoting it. And while they're doing it, it's like we don't get to do anything. Flag doesn't get to do anything. You know, we might get lucky and get to do a show here or there.
What do you do on your time off when you're not performing music and you're just living your life?
I listen to a lot of music. I spend a lot of time on the computer. I spend way too much time on the computer. I'm an administrator on 5 pages on Facebook, which is a real drag. It's like I got to keep up. I got to answer people's inquiries. I got to respond to stupid shit that gets posted. Post some stuff like we're on tour, come on out, have some fun. Post a photo here and there. Like a few things. I like to eat. I like watching movies. I don't watch TV because TV's horrible unless you pay $200 a month for all 300 channels or all 500 channels or all 1,000 channels or how many channels there are. It's just become too ridiculous. It's like, why pay for TV? We used to get it for free.